That was so good. That ATC controller.
Yeah. Air traffic controller got a little upset with a couple of pilots
yes.
or private pilots sometime recently, and it's all captured on audio and was making the rounds.
Where was it? Reagan International.
I don't know where it was.
They just had a moment where they
they were feeling the effects of having nothing else to do with their lives.
So they started meowing on air, and the ATC controller said,
"That's enough.
That's no way to act professional."
It's funny, but that's enough.
Yes.
So anyway,
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was hilarious, but I like the kitty cats.
That was cute.
Hallelujah.
No, it's no hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It's hump day, the first day of planning for the debauchery that so many of my friends will engage in this weekend. Don't try and deny it. You will be part of that plan, no doubt about it, right? Realistically, as it is with New Year's resolutions, those plans will never take shape, and you'll spend a miserable weekend thinking of yourselves as failures. Let me help you out of the slump that you'll be in. You're not failures. Fate will step in and kill whatever plans you concoct. As a result, you will survive the weekend of doing things you probably shouldn't have been doing and be able to plan another weekend in the future. So it's okay. Half the fun is making plans, right? At least that's what I've been led to believe all my life. How about you? Making plans is part of the fun.
True.
Okay.
That's why I have a calendar and I have to write everything down day by day. Where are you going today? What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, you're just doing it for that. That's the work part of it. I'm talking about for the fun things like vacations. Where are you going to? Are you going to? Where are you going out? What parties you're going to go to?
My fun days are sleeping in the morning and staying in my pajamas all day.
All of a sudden.
That's my fun day.
Good Wednesday morning, the dreaded 15th of February, 15th of April. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk.
And good morning, everyone. Happy tax day. Only barrels. Yeah.
What I think, I think they ought to make April 15th the day that we vote. Can you imagine the number of people who are in office who would not be there?
No, you should do it April 16th, the day after you filed.
Yeah. Want to chat? Y'all, right now we have one scheduled most important guest today, of course, and that's at 7:30. Plenty of time to light our fires before or after that. We think we're going to have our partner in crime about right after Dr. Rose this morning for a little chat. We got things to talk about there, don't we?
Oh. Boy, that was really controversial, y'all.
Still is.
Yes, still is. So, and I'm like,
So we'll be talking about something involving the president, of course, and other things as well. So, but if you want to chat between now and then or after that, feel free to do so. Shenanigans are continuing. 2 more openings in the U.S. House of Representatives, 1 Republican and 1 Democrat. Have you noticed? No unaffiliated members of either the House or the Senate have been shamed into bailing after claims of sexual indiscretions and worse have come to light.
I'm going to tell you what.
The reason is simple. I know the reason.
Oh, gosh. Why?
On all of those forms that all of us have to fill out from time to time for this or for that or whatever, right after our names, we put our names in, right? And then it says sex. And it's got 2 blocks. Male or female. If you were smart, you would just write no and move on.
None.
Just move on.
None.
No.
Occasionally,
just say,
whatever.
No.
Sometimes.
That opens the door for somebody to take a look at it and to say, I bet that little son of a gun is one of those people like we've elected already to Congress and to the Senate. Well, the Senate is part of Congress, but
I'm going to tell you, I watched that presser yesterday with his latest accuser, and he's an S puppy for sure. But I'm going to tell you what, I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, but I don't think I want to know any of the answer. I don't think I even want to hear about it.
The problem is we hear so much about it. There's so many people who are digging, who are looking. That
Yes.
the stuff is there. It's kind of like somebody, a police officer working any town and saying, "Oh, making a big deal that he found a nickel bag of pot in somebody's pocket."
Right.
I mean, that's news. give me a break. Yes, you're going to get arrested for it, but is that news? Is that something? Is that you going to put that down as bragging rights? I got to deal with it. I go, oh my God, I found 2 nickel bags in a roach in the ashtray.
Okay.
They find that in people's ashtrays when they do the
Found
vacuum
drugs in the
around.
White House, but you notice how that story kind of went away.
Well, yeah, but everybody knows pretty sure what occurred there, but that was sanitized to begin with. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Right,
The
but-
Jacksonville man was shot by a deputy sheriff in Dare County over the weekend. Did you hear about that one? 49-year-old Truman Gibson was pulled over after midnight Sunday morning near
Yeah.
Mans Harbor for an unreported traffic offense. We don't know what it was. The deputy, if it ran the license plate and came back with Gibson's name, I knew what it was. The deputy said Gibson attacked him when he placed him under arrest. The deputy subdued Gibson, but he had to shoot him. The Jacksonville man was taken to a Greenville hospital where he was listed in pretty bad condition. Here's the rest of the story.
Oh, do tell. You looked, okay, let's get his record.
Gibson is listed as an absconder by the North Carolina Department of Corrections. The prison department has got him listed on their site, absconder. He left his home in Jacksonville in January and has failed to report to his probation officer.
Oh, well,
So he's listed, wherever his name pops up, he's listed as arrest this man. Gibson had been previously convicted of burning a building here in Onslow County, possession of a gun by a convicted felon, and then DWI level 5. Failing to report to his probation officer is illegal.
yes, it is.
And getting out to fight a deputy sheriff because the deputy sheriff is arresting you because you were an absconder is not smart.
It'll put you in a box.
The State Bureau of Investigation is handling the officer-involved shooting. Jacksonville police are looking for a second man in connection with the armed robbery at the Murphy gas station on Marine Boulevard on Sunday, about 4:30 in the afternoon, daytime robbery. 2 men entered the store, pulled a pistol, and began stealing stuff. No one was hurt, thank goodness. The investigating officers were able to zero in on the names of the 2 men pretty quickly. I don't know what happened, but anyway,
That's right.
something was cool.
It was in the afternoon, broad daylight on a Sunday, church day,
4:30 in the afternoon.
4:30 in the afternoon.
Well, they found out who it was. Then Tuesday, with the help from the Onslow Sheriff's Office and the State Bureau of Investigations, special units there, they located 32-year-old Marlon Vinay Jr. at a location on Solomon Drive. He was arrested without incident. Vinay is charged with armed robbery. That's not probably how you pronounce his name, but whatever. Felony conspiracy and being a felon in possession of a gun. Do tell. Remains in jail without benefit of bond. He's no stranger to the system, having served prison time for 2 counts of attempted murder, burning of a public building, assault on a female, and having a weapon in prison.
Okay.
And having a weapon in prison.
A weapon in prison.
Having a weapon in prison.
What was it?
I don't know.
Probably a makeshift
Probably a shank or
knife.
something, yeah.
Shank, yes.
The law is looking for 21-year-old Sharon Maddox. He faces similar charges. Given that he's considered armed and dangerous, it would be safer for all concerned if he just call and arrange to surrender.
Yes.
Up until now, Maddox has had no dealings with the state prison system. If you know his whereabouts, police would appreciate a call, 910-938-6440. Mr. Maddox, if you're listening, you can call as well, 910-938-6440. Make arrangements to surrender. You'll be better off. If you'd like to remain anonymous, somebody out there, and perhaps collect some reward money for your efforts, call Crime Stoppers at 910-938-3273. That's 910-938-3273. Did I give you the right number this time?
Excellent, you did.
You don't have to give your name. You'll be given a special code number. And when Maddox is called, not if, when Maddox is called, and it turns out that it's because of your tip, Crime Stoppers will decide what the tip was worth, and arrangements will be made for you to
Yes.
collect the reward
Yes.
anonymously. And you don't have to pay taxes on it. Unless you so desire, you should do it by all rights, but you don't have to.
Well, let me ask you this. The one that they arrested, if he squeals and tells, can he get the reward?
No,
Help pay for his bond?
no, there is no bond on him right
No.
now. If you've got a business along Walton Road here in Onslow County, listen up.
Mm-hmm.
A section of the road is closed for repairs and
Yes,
will
it
not
is.
reopen until late May. Department of Transportation crews are repairing and rebuilding a part of the roadway near the railroad crossing there. I don't know exactly where that is. If you're in that area, I didn't know there was a railroad tracks there anymore.
Yes, yes.
Really?
Like Sherwood Mobile Home Park area up in there. Yeah.
They got railroad tracks?
Oh, I remember.
Does the
yeah.
train go through there?
Not anymore.
Well, why do they have tracks?
Years. Because the train used to go through there.
The train used to go across there at Verona too, but they don't do it anymore. The tracks came up. Okay, I'll get over it.
Well, maybe they just left a tore up road there. It's
If you got to pass that route along Walton Road, and it's near 258, if you're going to have to be in that area, there's a detour route. You might want to go pick it. Otherwise, you're going to be delayed while crews are working there. If you have to actually drive through that section, please slow down and use caution.
absolutely. And I have a PSA for the city of Jacksonville.
Uh-oh.
This only affects a few, well, enough. A water valve replacement is scheduled for today between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the Northwoods Drive area. It's over around, that's me. It's over around Jarman Street that they're
Is that
replacing.
going to take all day?
And,
Or is this going to happen sometime between those hours?
let's pray
know
that
when.
it's only between those hours and they get it done. But it's a Jarman Street area, and it will affect a lot of Northwoods. So if you're in Northwoods today and your water's off, yeah, you paid your bill. They're just
Maybe.
doing work. Yes.
If
Yes.
you didn't pay your bill, that's
Charlie from California said he's enjoying hearing about our local roadway closures.
well, good, Charlie. If you're over here, if you'd bring your butt over here sometime, you might be interested in knowing.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I saw what was left of the terrible wreck on Gumbranch Road yesterday near Statesville,
Yeah.
Stateside intersection, and that road was burnt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of skid marks and
How about there in Colorado?
in
They had
Colorado.
6 wrecks, 75 vehicles in all total.
Was that due to the weather? Yeah, they had some terrible tornadoes going through there yesterday.
They had 6 different wreck situations, but a total of 75 vehicles involved in those wrecks. Oh my God, the insurance companies. Ooh,
It used to be a day like when we had heavy rain, people put on the four-ways or pulled off the road. Nowadays, they just barrel through.
yeah, well, they barreled into each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that radiant fog that
Yes.
you have, low-lying
Yes,
fog.
that low.
So that does happen.
No, slow down, people. Slow down.
All right, coming up here, Dr. Rosemary Stein coming up in a few minutes
Right.
at 7:30 this morning, and she's going to be talking about medical stuff dealing with kids, and it's not all just about pills and shots and stuff like that. There's a lot more that goes into maintaining the health of, especially of our young ones.
That's right.
They're in their, what do they call it, the formative years, where their brains are beginning to take shape, and some don't take shape very well, and some of it's because of what we don't do for them.
With Dr. Rose, it's more than just treating a cold. It's helping them to develop their mind.
Developing is the
and-
word that I was looking
Right,
for.
right. She's a very good. And I met somebody the other night from Alamance County. He's running for a judge's seat in this part of the state. He used to live in Alamance, and I asked if he knew her, but he didn't. And I was like, "Well, you're missing out."
I'll tell you what, I really wish that we could just, why don't all of the judges, all of the district court judges, why don't they get together in their big courtroom one of these nights and have a town forum, a town hall meeting, just to let people just talk to them about things?
Well, there actually is one coming up that
Oh, that's going to be a political thing.
the Republican Party's doing is
Yes.
ask your judges. It's like a town hall, like
Yes.
you're going to ask judges questions and stuff like that. But whoa, I keep muting this. What is up with Samsung? See, look, it's on mute. Look, it's on mute. Don't give my phone. Put that knife up. I don't know. This phone has been aggravating as far as
we can adjust some of those bolts in there.
Well, you see me sit here every morning before we go on the air, and I mute my phone, and I go into the settings, and I go to where it plays music, and I mute that too. See, it's muted, but yet when I flick through because I was looking for that announcement, and
you turned it on.
No, there was something that was playing, and it's phones. Yeah, phones.
Our marine forecast has the coast in a southwesterly flow of summer-like conditions right now. Today, out to 20 nautical miles, southwesterly winds, 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 later this afternoon. Seas 3 to 4 feet every 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, becoming choppy in the afternoon. Thursday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet. Friday, southwesterly winds running 15 to 20, kicking up a little bit. Seas 3 to 4. Sounds and rivers will be a little choppier than normal.
Okay, today sunny with a high near 89. Southwest wind 7 to 9 miles per hour. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 61. Thursday mostly sunny with a high near 89, and Friday sunny with a high near 90. Possibility, slight chance we'll get some showers Sunday night, and the temperatures are going to drop once again into the low to mid 60s the first couple of days of next week, and then start to climb again. And when Rayford gets done with the area, okay. Well, I'm going to go in.
Means?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means stretch it out.
Stretch.
I'm good. Are you good? All right, because I have something else to about weather when you finish that.
Well, we do something about got a couple things about weather here too. I want to talk about, and one of them is particularly with the marine weather that we've got going on right now.
Yes,
but
okay.
We'll talk about that in just a minute or two. But right now, on his golf cart, Randy, aka K4SQN, and Boomer, he's K9, yada yada yada. He says it's 63 degrees out there in the southwest community, 89% humidity, 30.09 inches of rain. Winds are light out of the west, about 2 miles an hour. There's no rain anywhere that we've got here. And Lee, our friend, he's not in the swamp today.
He's in West Virginia.
Princeton,
yes.
West by God, Virginia. He's there today, and this morning it was 63 degrees, westerly winds at 11 miles per hour. And nothing in the rain gauge.
That's Charlie.
And Carol reported in this morning. Over in River Bend, 62 degrees, 86% humidity, southwesterly winds at 2. Joe down in Swansboro, 63 degrees, 88% humidity, 30.10 inches of mercury, northerly winds at about 3 miles an hour. James over in Bladen County, 57 degrees this morning, clear and calm. Brian, who's also in the borough, 61.7 degrees, 83%, 7 inches of mercury and falling. And he said there either. And Ward out in Cedar Point, 64.6 degrees, 89% humidity, 30.17 inches of mercury. Southwesterly winds running about 5 to 8. Lee here to my immediate left. Over in the Woodlands, where she lives, 60 degrees, 85% humidity, 30.10 inches of mercury in the barometric pressure. In here, 61 degrees, 91% humidity, and the winds are calm. They've been pretty light all night long. 2 miles an hour was the highest, was the peak, and 29.87 inches of mercury.
Yeah.
All right, we want to grab Charlie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, Charlie.
Charlie, what's the weather in Los Angeles this morning where you live? What's the temperature?
I don't know. It's normal.
Smog.
I don't know. Can I say something with Eric Swalwell?
You always open up every day. Can I say something? Yes. Go ahead.
Do I really say that?
You do. It's either that or can I ask a question? One or the other. You didn't realize that?
So you want to talk about Smutwell?
No, I was okay. So you guys know the controversy surrounding the Congressman Eric Swalwell, right?
Yes.
Yes, there are two of them,
So
but
you
yes.
guys know that everybody in Congress, Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, all of them, these are narcissistic. Most of these people are horrible. They're just disgusting human beings.
In
Most
your
of these
opinion.
people. Okay. 5% of them are really good.
And where do you get those numbers?
I'm just throwing something out because I'm being stupid.
Okay.
I'm reading. Okay, so I googled Eric Swalwell.
Uh-huh.
On April 1st, he sent out a text message or a Facebook message or a tweet. He said on April 1st, he said, "Wishing a meaningful Passover to all who are celebrating in California and across the country. May we recommit ourselves to building a future rooted in justice, dignity, and hope for all." And then he signed up Shag Shamich. Do you guys know what Shag Shamich means?
Have no clue.
It's a Jewish greeting meaning happy holiday or happy festival. This guy is a sociopathic, narcissistic nutcase. Everything about this guy. This is a truly a disturbed human being. It's disgusting what's coming out about him. With the women that, have you guys seen these videos online about that have come out with him with prostitutes? Listen, I'm not judging the guy. Maybe I've been with a lady of the evening. I don't know.
I saw
But
one.
this is a sick human being.
He does definitely have some issues that he needs to work on.
Now, he's elected by the people of that district. He was elected by the people of
He
that
was.
district, the majority of the people of that district, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but when you think about it, when someone knocks on your door and says, "Listen, I'd like to represent you. Please vote for me." I mean, so you vote for these people?
They don't do that anymore, Charlie. When was the last time you had a politician knock on your door and ask you to vote for him? Here's what they do. Here's what they do now. Look at the TV, look at the newspapers, but particularly the TV. Look at the slick, and I use that word in a not a nice way, the very slick productions that are produced for the people that are running. They put as much effort into conning you as the commercials do into getting you to buy cereal.
No, I get that. I get it. Okay, so I get it. What's your point?
We're the gullible. We are sheeple. We're led by
Sheeples.
yeah, we are the sheeple. That's all that is. We are nothing but being led around by a bunch of people that we stupidly elect. That's on us. That is not on them. They have the motive, they have the opportunity, and we give it to them.
I know quite a few politicians that I know for a fact have gone door to door. Some of our locals.
Done what? What'd you say?
Gone door to door, knocked on
More
doors.
locals will do it than anybody else because it counts locally.
We have some great locals, yes.
Yeah, but maybe locally where you guys live, where maybe they're like good people. They knock on your door.
We're not California. We're not California.
Let me ask you a question. What kind of person runs for political office? What kind of person? I mean, aren't all of us corrupt? Aren't all of us? Don't we all have things in our past? We're like, I hope they don't discover that about us.
I don't think you can say all of anything. I just don't. I never like that used. You can say the majority of the people that you think are corrupt or whatever. You might say that. You can say that you are or have been or whatever. You can say that.
No, I'm not saying I am.
You cannot say a majority of anything unless you have some facts to prove it.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. These people that want to be in a position of power, they're basically saying,
yeah, you want my opinion about that, this whole running for public office deal? I do not think that inherently the individuals who decide they want to serve, particularly at a state level or a federal level, local levels, I think they are more dedicated to really serving the community than the people who serve at state and especially at federal levels are, because they have so much on their plates otherwise. But I think those individuals are, in the beginning, they are inherently very honest. They don't have any major desires because they don't really know the ropes and how the system works. They've heard stories and they won't get caught up in that. They swear they won't. They've got business dealings. They got money already in the bank. They don't need anymore, but they get there and they get greedy. They want to be part of the system. They want to be invited to the parties. That's the biggie. They want to be invited to the parties because there are parties around the clock. You realize that more than Las Vegas. They want to be invited to the parties and they want to fit in. And if they don't go along with the program, they don't fit in and they are shunned.
Yeah, but if you're young, like in your 30s and you're naive, you may go with the protocol. You may be like, you do things that maybe you don't want to do. But let's say you're 50 and you want to join a political party. Aren't you kind of like basically saying, I'm not going to fall for anything. I'm not going to be controlled by you. Do you guys know any honest politicians? Do you know any honest politicians?
Absolutely, I do.
And when we had in here yesterday, he's about as honest as it come.
I know any number. I've known them. I mean, first of all, I've done. I've looked into backgrounds more than I'm sure anybody around here has. And I did it with politicians and the news media. I would run backgrounds like you wouldn't believe. I dig into any dirt that came up just to look and see. And 99% of the time, the dirt that was mentioned was BS. And I proved it.
Hey, Rifford, so have you ever ran for political office?
Hell no.
Why not?
Why would I? Do you think I want to serve?
Do you have like an original voice where you want to like cure something? You want to change something? You want to like help kids that are like in foster homes like I was? Or anything like unique?
No, I'm in it for myself.
Funny.
You selfish prick. Listen, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
Bye. I don't have the ability to persuade in a nice way anybody to do anything. I'm not a nice person when it comes into me encouraging you to do the right thing or whatever. Get in this car. I'm going to beat you. That's more my style. That won't get me elected.
I like working behind the scenes. I like helping good people.
You do a good job like that. You're a nice person.
That's my thing.
I'm not.
But I couldn't. I don't want to be an elected official. I don't want to. I'm telling you because the first time somebody got up in my face and started yelling and screaming at me, it would be over with. I would have to go ahead and resign now. Because
I'm gonna hit you.
I mean,
when you invade my space, I'm going to hit you.
And I'm not saying I'm really that kind of person. I'm not. But
you know what? Can be.
Time after time, I watch some of the abuse that some of our local elected officials take. If you've got a problem with something, talk.
I took abuse when I worked for the government. You understand?
Yes.
I took abuse.
I do understand that.
I took abuse. Because that was my job, is to make sure that but I had to take the abuse first.
Right.
Got called everything in the world but a human being. I was never called a human being that I can recall. But I had to be nice until they crossed the line. And once they crossed the line,
that's
now you belong to me.
Well, see, I think that and I'm not saying that all electeds are perfect because
nobody's perfect.
But I'm saying it has to be a special kind of person that wants to serve the crazy public.
And if they would do, and I respect a guy like Dr. Murphy.
Yes,
Dr. Murphy. I mean, he doesn't need the money. No. He's a renowned surgeon.
Yes, he is.
He is way up there.
And he's still practicing.
And he still does that.
Yes.
One day he'll get it perfect. He won't have to practice anymore.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, Doc. But anyway.
I'm telling him.
I don't care. He knows it. He'll laugh. But it's like practicing lawyer. Oh,
right.
Don't go there. But there are guys. I admire these people. I admired Senator Tillis a lot because he started working his way through everything. At the bottom, he had nothing handed to him.
Right.
He worked for everything he got, and he did not. He had party loyalty as long as the party remained loyal. to the Constitution. Sometimes when the party did not remain loyal to the Constitution,
Right.
he had issues.
Right.
Not with the party, but with individuals within the party.
Right.
So,
And of course, some of your hardcore party people, if you don't agree 100% with what they
You're on
think
the
you
outs.
should agree with, you're on the out. Oh, let's do a letter. Let's censor him. Like,
which
oh,
they did, and that made him mad. I don't blame him. I would have been mad too.
It's a piece of paper. Take it and throw it in the garbage. That's all, you know.
Oh, I just put it on a roll and put it in the bathroom. Don't worry about it.
You know, and it's never a good thing to get a censor like that because, you know, you're like,
But the thing is, you're working with, in the Senate, 99 other people, and they come up with this.
right.
I mean, I would hate to have a majority of my friends, if I was in a group of individuals, there were 100 of us total. I'd hate a majority of them to feel that way about me.
I
You
guarantee
know
you.
that a few are going to feel that way.
I guarantee you,
regardless.
there's quite a few that are up there in the United States Congress that have feelings that are very independent from what the majority has.
Yeah.
And whether you choose to show your opposition or not,
Yeah.
Tillis showed his
He
opposition.
did. They
And,
showed him.
and Tillis, of course,
And
is
then he
leaving.
and then he showed them.
And, you know, and so many people want to crucify him over it.
I don't.
You know, if you don't agree with the man, okay,
I admire
fine.
him for doing what
If
he
you
did.
agree with him, fine. But
He served us well.
I think so too. I think he did. He has served us well.
Was Dr. Rose going to be gone this week? I cannot remember. Did she
Yes.
say something about not being here today?
No,
Are you sure?
she may have you talked her up. You talked her up. We have Dr. Rose on the line.
She heard me, didn't she?
She heard you. You talked her up.
I just make a mention and she reaches out and dials us up. There we go. All right. See, we do have a power to reach out and touch people. Dr.
That's
Rose,
right.
good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning. I hope all of you are okay.
We're
Doing
hanging
well.
in here. You know.
Hope you are too.
Let's see.
Yes, we are.
What kind of aches and pains you want to describe before I describe mine? See if we can get some free advice here this morning.
My aches and pains are minute. Rayford, sitting next to you.
Ah,
I have no aches and pains. You go ahead, discuss yours, Rayford.
Oh,
And don't be looking at me.
no. No, I what does a pulled muscle feel like?
it feels kind of painful
that.
when you move it,
Yeah.
depending on which muscle set it is.
Well, lifting big old bags of soil, like 50, 80 pounds or whatever they are, and twisting and carrying them over to the garden and cutting them open and spreading it around.
That might do it.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. So I don't have lung cancer back there on the side and down my back, right?
It doesn't. No, you probably don't. I would say that that's probably some back straining and side straining that you gave yourself because you really shouldn't be doing that by yourself. But
Well,
there's
and I didn't do it yesterday, so I quit doing it, and it felt a lot better last night after my wife did some manipulations and some horse liniment and stuff on my back. She put on that jackass juice, and then
That was the horse man.
and it felt better after I took a nap, and then I felt pretty good this morning, and then I. Sitting and walking and moving a lot this morning is beginning to get sore again. So that's
Well, what you need to do is go out and lift some more bags and loosen up that soreness. That'll work.
I don't think so. I think that would add to
no,
the.
I don't think so either.
Thank you, Doc. Jeez,
Look out for you, Rayford.
she's trying to kill me.
It appears so.
Yeah, see, I'm putting up a barricade here. What are we looking at? And the way I talked about you this morning and earlier, you deal with other than just throwing some pills and some shots and some
Right.
things at little kitties. There's a whole lot more to their health in these, what they used to call the formulative years.
Yes.
Some I think Wonder Bread called it that. didn't
their
there? Somebody did.
development.
But as they develop, these first years are extremely important. A whole lot happens, and it deals with their mental health and their physical health.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you should bring that up today
Mhm.
because I had an experience with a little one that we would have been concerned that because of what we found, he might not have done as well. When you do a yearly checkup, one of the things that is indicated or we'd like to do is to do a hemoglobin to check on if the child has anemia. So when you go to your checkups, you do a CBC. We're checking for your blood work to see if you have good iron stores.
Oh, okay.
Iron is so iron is what pulls oxygen into your tissues and all the rest of your body, so that each one of your systems and organs can breathe. So it takes the oxygen, metabolizes it, and it throws out CO2. And so each little cell does this in the whole body. But if you don't have your iron stores nice and high, well, there's no little carrier for the oxygen to take it to all of the rest of the body. And so that's what happens. Like today, in today's world, kids don't eat well. So they're eating chicken nuggets and French fries, and as you can imagine, iron in those foods is not particularly high. And so this one toddler had a very, very low, like almost half of what his iron store was supposed to be.
Really?
And we got very concerned because it could have been that our machine was wrong, but we did it twice and it still was really, really low. So we sent him over to the hospital to get his iron rechecked, and there it was, still low. So I sent him over to the emergency room last night so they can investigate, one, why is their iron store so low? And two, what can we do to get that back up? Because the little guy is only 2, so somebody's probably not feeding him very well.
Oh my goodness.
But that could have lasting effects on his little brain. If the brain doesn't get its oxygen, you can imagine that brain may not function very well.
Doesn't develop well.
And it doesn't develop well. So I just wanted to give the parents a shout out. Back then, when you want your kids to eat your veggies, you got to be really smart about making sure that the kid's eating veggies, and make sure maybe add a multivitamin with good iron amount in it. But that also goes for adults. If you're feeling kind of tired, fatigued, like your brain is a little bit in a fog, it might just be that your iron's a little bit low, and you got to make sure that you're eating well and you add some iron to as a supplement or to your diet.
That's what I found out recently, that I was anemic because my iron level was low. So that explains why I want to sleep 24/7.
Wow. Being
there you go.
Being a guy who does analytical stuff in my head all the time, I have done all my life.
Yes.
I would assume that, so you find out that if you don't find out from birth until they're 6 years old that they have a problem that's developing and getting worse without getting tested and doing something about it when you do get tested, there's some stuff that can happen or not happen. I'm going to assume, and you can fix this, I will assume that can't ever be completely repaired if you don't get it done right in the first place. Is that about the way it works?
That's the way it works for kids. So when you talk about formative years, that's exactly why these things are important, and why going to the children's wellness checks and checking on them and asking, how are they growing? Let me look at their growth chart together. Let's see how that blood pressure is coming along. Even when they're little, it tells us a lot. Let's check on their pee to see if there's anything to be concerned about. All of these things give us a really good clue as to if the kids are doing okay. 90% of the time, everything's okay. But there's that 10% that you catch something that if it hadn't been caught, it would have affected the kid's life for a very long time or the rest of his life.
Wow. So it's just like, making sure your car is going to continue running during its entire life. You need to start from day one, making sure you do. I've seen people buy a new car. I knew one in particular as a family member bought a brand new car and did not bother to get the oil change. It used to have to be done every 3,000 miles. Now it's like 5,000 with the super oils or whatever. But it was like 20,000 miles. And the thing started smoking. He said, well, I filled it up with oil every time. Did you change? Did you take the old oil out and, put new oil? No, I just said, no. And, the damage was done. The damage was done. You're not going to fix it once you damage it. And, I'm going to assume the body is the same way based upon what you're saying.
That is a great analogy. The body, and especially kids, need their maintenance, their tune-ups and their maintenance checkups.
Yep.
And when we don't do that and we don't do the preventive care to it, and we get a lot of parents that say that because the kid cries, they don't want to check their blood. And it's like, okay, that might not be the best decision that you're making for a couple of reasons, but we really should check to see, because kids are kind of finicky when they eat. And sometimes they're not eating what needs to go into their little bodies. And we just want to check up on it and make sure that, everything is appropriate.
Let's talk about these blood tests. How you can tell a whole lot apparently these days with a really good regimen of a blood test, right? You can tell things that people might not find out for quite a few years, that something is in the air that might impact them. In fact, their lives in a bad way.
Yes, that is true. With the CBC, you see how your blood is doing, if you're anemic. It tells you about how you're able to fight infections to a certain degree. It also tells you how you're able to clot your blood through the platelets. And then a normal grouping of tests would also be something called the CMP, a complete metabolic panel. And that lets us know how the intestinal system is working, how the liver is working, a little bit about how the pancreas is working, and just lets us know if your sugar is too high, too low, and if you're dehydrated. All of those things from a simple blood test.
Well, I just wish there was one thing about blood tests, given my situation now, where I get started early in the morning, and I don't get through here until 9 o'clock.
Right.
And I'm not supposed to have anything to eat or nothing to drink unless it's a little sip of water, nothing else, until after I go get the blood sucked out of me. That's a long time to be awake without having something from 4:30 in the morning. What do you mean? Oh, you got to sit here. You can't sit here. You got 12 gallons of coffee over there. What are you talking about?
But the times I've never had to fast before. Well, when I go to my doctor's appointment, she takes my blood. I don't fast.
Oh, you don't? You're supposed to.
She doesn't tell me to. Don't tell me to do it.
Well, I get
cholesterol and your sugar. Yes,
old age.
I'm getting tested for everything.
Right.
Ingrown toenails to whatever.
Yeah, I know it's rough not being able to, but how often does that happen? And then it gives you an excuse to go to the Waffle House afterwards.
I don't do that.
Make sure you take it, and you can drink more than a sip of water.
Right.
You can actually be quite healthy with how you're drinking your water, so that you don't have a fainting spell or something like that. So drink plenty of water when you're going to have your lab test.
Don't you know what fish do in water?
Rayford.
Everything.
Okay.
No.
You can actually eat up until 9 p.m. the night before.
And that's what you do. You make a full meal at 8 o'clock and you sit there and gorge yourself.
So
Rayford.
you mean that I can't have any food for 12 hours?
That's the way it works.
That's not the way life works.
Right. Just go directly after the show and have your lab test.
That's right.
Yeah, well, the good thing is my lab lady is right around the corner
That's
here.
right.
I
We can walk over there.
No, I can't. I won't. I can drive over there.
Okay.
But I could go over there and walk in, and I could get some blood sucked out anytime I want it. So that's the good thing. I just gotta make sure I don't drink anything or eat anything of any consequence. before I get there.
Yep. Then you have a reason
correct.
afterwards to go eat.
Don't need a reason. I can use any excuse. And this holds true for folks throughout life, not just as they're little kids. But I know as we get older, we have things that start to deteriorate. We might not notice if we don't get regular checkups and get the blood sucked out of us for a little bit and tested. Well, that's what they do. It's a vampire room, right? But which I don't mind. I don't care. Just needles don't bug me. I guess they bug some people. They don't bug me. Stick me and take the blood out and let's go.
Yeah, well, children do feel differently about that.
Okay, well, it's just me then, I guess. But we got summer coming on. We got insects that are
Right.
crawling. We got things that are happening out there now. So snakes are on the move. We got all sorts of things out there that we need to warn our kiddies about too.
Yeah, that's true. Make sure that you take a look outside where the children play to make sure that you assess the area. That way you know if there are ant hills.
Oh, yes.
Some wasp nests. All of those things should be assessed and tell the children, especially when they're younger, the areas to be on the lookout for. As they get older, walk through hike with them and point things out as you hike.
Mhm. Yeah.
To show them the areas that might be concerning, things to stay away from, where to put your foot as you go up and down over rocks and
Yes.
and roots, so that they know how to hike properly. I mean, all these things are good for children to know. I want kids to be outside. Too many kids are just sitting on couches and on their tablets. So help them to enjoy the outdoors and also to be safe. It's very important that kids be safe. Too many times they don't know how to be safe, and so they come in with something that's been harmed and injured and broken, and we can do a lot to prevent that.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Rose, I'm glad you brought that up about hiking because you made me remember listening to the news the other day about new and emerging tick-borne
Yeah,
diseases
that's where I was
that
going
are
to.
out.
Yes, and that can be concerning. So make sure that when the kids and yourself they go hiking, that you put on some insect spray. There's some very effective insect spray that you can buy
Right.
over the counter right now.
They're talking about some of this. Go ahead.
Excuse me, sorry.
They were just saying that some of these diseases now that they could lead to encephalitis or meningitis.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, like Rocky Mountain spotted fever now is not just in the
Awesome.
Rocky Mountains.
Right.
No.
Whether it's the real Rocky Mountain spotted fever or it's some other form of it, it can be very dangerous. Now, is it real common? I don't think it's something to freak out about, but I think that you should be on the lookout for unusual ticks. And not all ticks are going to carry an illness. So just because you have a tick on you doesn't mean that you're going to do poorly. And the other thing that's really kind of important is that once you have it, and if you develop a fever or a very peculiar rash, just make sure you see your doctor within 24 hours, because these conditions are very easy to treat with simple antibiotics. It's
Sure.
just getting it right at the beginning and not waiting until the problem is a full-blown medical illness.
We'll caution folks though about ticks too, and because I've been subjected to them too. No, I didn't get a fever, didn't have anything like that, but they get in there, and it's particularly if you're like camping for a few days
Right.
and you're not, in the bathtub or
Mhm.
anything like that, you may have a tick or two that shows up. They can get embedded fairly quickly, and trying to get them out requires some work. And you don't want to leave parts of them in there, so you can't grab them and jerk on them, because you may leave part of the head in there or part of it, and all that does is decompose under your skin. Now, so be careful when you're dealing with ticks.
Well, your pets can bring them in too.
Yep.
So,
That's right. That's right. And Mr. Rayford, you're right about if you leave them embedded in, it's going to cause with time a very, very nasty infection.
Yes.
And may lead to you having to go to the urgent care center or the dermatologist to have them taken out. So make sure that you properly get them out of there. It's not hard to Google how to do it, and you just have to be patient, follow the instructions on how to get the whole tick out. And if pieces of it stay in there, don't get all upset. They can be removed, but just don't let them be in there for long periods of time.
No, don't get them out as soon as you can. So anyway, okay, doctor, thank you as always.
thank you so much, Dr. Rose, as always.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's always a joy to speak to you guys.
Same here. Thank
You
you.
have a wonderful day and rest of your week. May it go well.
Thank you so much. You guys as well.
All right.
That sounded almost like an Irish blessing, didn't it?
Wow. Bless you. Well, I was just reading the Asian longhorn tick is an invasive species spreading across at least 22 U.S. states. It reproduces rapidly without mating, that's Chris, and can co-feed with other ticks, efficiently transmitting pathogens. The tick is capable of carrying multiple diseases, including blah, 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 medical word, and may introduce new pathogens previously unseen in the United States. Medical word, acrylocociosis.
Blah, medical word.
Medical word, blah, blah, big word.
Look it up.
No, I'm not.
Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Tick, 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 tick.
Stop.
tick,
Itchy
tick.
already.
I think those were good questions for Dr. Rose. And I think that I saw a story on it too, and I said that one of the things they said is, look, where people don't think about looking is under their arms.
Absolutely.
There's some places.
Between their knees, because they look for moist areas to rest.
Go to places you don't normally go and see what you can find. And okay.
And pull them off, burn their heads, whatever.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we used to do, they strike a match and blow it out, and while it was still hot, they would hold it near the tick, and the tick would back out. You ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
Yes,
I did.
I'm just ready to move on from ticks.
And then if the tick wasn't too far embedded, you paint it with fingernail polish, and it smothers and dies, and you can pull it off then because it won't grab hold. The ticks will come out, except the problem is they got those little claws and they grab hold and they won't come out. What?
Well, one of the things, Richard, they talked about was I guess the mild winter.
It's a now.
Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and the ticks are smaller now, so they're harder to see.
No boogers.
Yeah.
Well, it's just best when you go outside, wear some spray, something that contains DEET. Tuck your socks up over your pants, wear long sleeves. Just be cautious.
Well, you know what my grandmother used to do?
Put you in a hazmat suit?
No, she used to take kerosene and put it around your ankles, around your socks, or around the bottom of your pants.
Right.
Put kerosene around there. They don't crawl.
Kerosene?
Yes.
Wow. Didn't think about
Hey,
that.
Albert, don't flick that big.
Well, that also prevented us from smoking.
Boom! Where's Rayford? Up a tree?
He got launched. Okay. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good. Kathy's doing well, getting ready for her big knee replacement.
Yeah. I mean, I got my tools out over here. I had a couple of DeWalt drills, and I got a hacksaw or two. And
well, I kind of figured that she wouldn't let me do the repair on her torn meniscus, so I didn't even bother asking about the knee.
Well, I wouldn't know what to do with the meniscus. I can probably fix the knee though. It's just a little joint down there. No big deal.
I have a
Get
little
some
tear in
hinges.
mine.
I got some hinges.
I've had it for years and years and years. It's from doing ballet point.
Ballet what?
Point.
She was pointing.
That's where you wear the point shoes and you dance on your toes.
I see her pointing, yes.
I see your point. Okay.
I see your point too, but you keep a hat on, nobody will notice.
Okay. Moving on.
Oh, that was just awful, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now
that was good.
there's some serious, and
Yeah.
if we can call it serious with Trump, I'm not sure exactly how I would label him
It's a bad choice.
as being serious about anything. Sometimes I know he's dealing with some serious issues
Yes.
that we're having to put up with, and the world is putting up with. But it's that's not his fault.
Well,
This
for
is
those,
something that he's inherited over the past 50 years has been going on that we should have corrected then.
well, for those listening,
But here's the story now.
here's what happened. Trump posted an AI generated image on Truth Social
But he selected it.
depicting himself. Well, actually, somebody else had made this months ago. Anyway, he depicted the image on Truth Social, depicting himself wearing a white robe and a red sash, garments that appear in many traditional representations of Jesus Christ.
And he laid hands on the sick.
As of April 13th, the image was deleted from his feed, and he later told reporters he did post the feed, but he thought it showed him as a doctor because
That's
in
a
the
bad
picture,
excuse.
he's wearing the robe. To me, my first thought was Jesus, and he's laying hands on a person that appears to be sick. And that caused a lot of controversy.
Which he should have figured it would be.
And I'm like, you're the president of the United States. Stop.
Well,
Stop.
Now, what do we think about all of this? I mean, especially coming from the Catholic faith as you are.
Oh, and that was after he said some unkind words against the Pope.
Yeah. Well, the Pope said he didn't like his Iranian policies, so Trump in Trump fashion fired back
Well, is it
in a personal
necessary?
way.
See, there's.
well, let's go with the picture first.
Yes.
So the picture that was, whether it was AI generated, it was interesting to allude to AI. I get one of these crank calls last night. I pretend to be a homicide detective and asked the girl, did she have a relationship with the deceased, who said, I am AI generated Jennifer. I did not have an affair with that person. We've all
Well,
talked
should have
about
tried that
it.
one.
Yeah.
It was AI,
in the
Monica.
picture, doctors do not lay hands, at least in our country. Doctors do doctoring, like Dr. Rose does.
That's right.
doctoring. Medication. In the picture, it depicts people praying over the person who the president has his hand on the forehead, and then a light coming from his other hand.
Mm-hmm.
For those of faith, the gospel teaches of Jesus.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, he gave sight to someone. He gave hearing to someone. He gave speech to someone. Jesus had that power. I think the president, this is Chris Marx's personal opinion. I don't speak for the Pope or any priest or any religion, but he took it out of context by saying he was healing. He thought he was being a doctor. He was healing. He bad choice of picture, bad choice of wording, and it was just a lot of people, not only Catholics, took offense to it.
Well,
Go ahead, Lee.
his exact words when asked if he posted, he said, "It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and it had to do with the Red Cross, as a Red Cross worker was there, which we support. Only the fake news could come up with what they're saying now. But the nurse that's in there is wearing a nurse's outfit. I see no Red Cross on her. And then there's another lady in the picture that has praying hands. And my first thought, and I think like most everyone else, was that he was portraying himself as Jesus.
I'd like to
Right.
know if anyone else disagrees with that assumption. I mean,
Let us know.
you would like a look at that. I mean, maybe if you're not religious at all, I mean, if you're an atheist, you may not see anything wrong with this, or that it doesn't depict him playing Jesus. It's the way I put it. I don't understand the mentality. What was the thought process that went into putting that picture up there?
If one were to also, just a little bit further on that, look at the figures, the 4 figures, Lee, if you've got the photo up
Yes.
on your computer. If you look above his head in those 4 figures above,
Mm-hmm.
those, most people were believing that represented fallen soldiers who are
Right.
now
Yes, it does. To have gone on.
Like archangels.
In our real world, doctors don't. It's just he's not being a doctor. And it was a poor choice of photos. And I think it is my opinion, and his defense for it. If that's what he wants to say, he has a right to say whatever he wants to say. Whether someone believes it or not, I don't believe it. I don't believe he believes it. He was, we call him converts. He converted from being a Presbyterian to non-denominational.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those who don't know, non-denominationals, they answer on a local level.
Yes.
Catholics, for an example, we view our priest as our go-between us and the Lord.
There's the
So
intermediary.
there's the Pope.
Yep.
Yeah, the enemy. And then there's the Pope, and what we do is we pray to God for guidance for the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of things that the Catholic faith believes in. You hope, and this comes from priests that I've talked with, priests that I've been with. You pray that things like wars can be averted through prayer and through negotiations in faith. You're using your prayer and your faith in God to get you through these negotiations to a good outcome. But you also have to, as a public authority, most religious people believe that they have the right to impose obligations necessary for national defense. It's a very difficult, at best, to be in a position where you don't want war, but you also have to respect the fact that people in the position that the president is of any country is defending their country.
We know
But no one wants death.
we know that there are chaplains in the military.
Oh yeah,
Okay. I mean,
wonderful.
and the military is there to fight wars, to defend this country against aggressors, right? To make sure that we stay safe and free in this country. That's what the military is here for. But we also know that we need chaplains to help our fighting forces to prepare for whatever and to, give them a little energy. It is faith-based, energy-based faith is what it is. But I got one question that if I had the opportunity today, call Donald and say, hey, Mr. President, I've got one question. What would Dr. Billy Graham have told you to do about that picture before you published it? Ouch.
Yeah, that'd be a great question.
WWBD. What would Billy do?
Rayford,
That, I would like to hear him answer that question. Why hasn't somebody thought to ask him that question?
I've seen numerous interviews, and of course, I don't really trust mainstream media. I don't think a lot of people do. but they egg him on to get the kind of response that
course
they do
they
because it's
do.
news making.
Yeah.
Of course, and you look for Rayford. We all know what a great career you had in television, and the stories and what you had to do with your reporters. Good news doesn't draw a lot of viewers, unfortunately. I don't think you may have led some of your newscasts with your reporters to do a great news story. Azalea Garden, not Azalea Garden, Azalea Festival. Great story to open up with. It's
3 days of the week it was. Yeah, 3 days of the week,
Yeah.
once a year. That's what led the newscast.
Yeah, but I kind of scrolled around last night. All the lead stories were either the severe weather,
Yeah.
That always leads.
things like that. And then at the end of the newscast, a feel good. Here's our feel good story for the night, and it's great.
I'm
But
tell
we
you
don't
one that
know
I led
what-
with. They wanted, the guy came by. The photographer went to a fire. Didn't have a reporter with him. Fire was close by. House was on fire, and he was there and he was shooting and he's shooting. A firefighter comes out of the house. He's doing CPR. He's doing mouth to mouth on a dog, a little dog, who was, by all other reports, would have been dead, was dead, not responsive. The dog came to life on camera. What do you think I led with that night? Stupid stuff out of Raleigh or whatever, crime, bleeding? No, I led with that. What do you think won the news story of the year for that
I'm
year
sure
was?
that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you gotta know what good stories, happy endings can lead a newscast. It's got to be special, I will admit, but don't bury those kinds of stories, for God's sakes.
We
people.
need more stories like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Well, and live and local real talk. I'm going to say this because it comes from my heart. We do that
We do.
a lot because you did it earlier this morning. And I'll tell you what a great comments that the both of you were talking about Crime Stoppers. That is a good feel good story because it's yes, it gets criminals off the streets, but it's you, a citizen, doing something good,
That's it.
and you might get rewarded for it. And you threw in no taxes. That's great. And it was hear my partners stoppers, and we talk about the one, which is a good thing, and they, Lee's working on getting a guest for therapy horses for the military. But the show,
We knew.
but we deal with a lot of issues that aren't good, the crime, accident, not that fender benders and things. But the people enjoy that, but they also know that we also talk about the things that are going on in the world in this country with Trump and the Pope.
Right.
Who, if anyone were to ask an American, go to another country and ask an American who's most famous people you know or have heard of, it's going to be the Pope and the president, whoever the president is of the United States.
Well,
Everybody knows the Pope.
I remember the story from my very, very young childhood days. The cartoon, I think it was in Saturday Evening Post, perhaps, or whatever magazine that I used to read a bunch of those things, even as a 8-9-year-old. But there was a cartoon in there, and the thing that I remember, a dad was talking to his son, or the son was talking to his dad, and the first cartoon image was, "Daddy," and they were Russians. "Daddy, is it true what they say that we can't say anything we want to say about our government, talk about our government?" "No, sir, son, that's not true." you can say anything you want once.
Only not in Iran, right?
Once you can say it.
Right.
You won't ever say it again. That, to me, as much as anything else, and we'll say it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
whether
we will.
it's Trump or whoever it's
Right.
about. That's because we have the right to do that. We have the right. If there's a privilege involved, but there's a right that guarantees it. We are Americans.
Well, yeah, and in that, I can lead that right into, as you led into, Wreaths Across America, another charity, another wonderful story that Live and Local Real Talk is so much behind, and to that young person, you say, here's why, and here's these men, these women who gave their lives to be able to allow us to do this. We all don't agree with a lot of things, like especially professional athletes, what they do, and their words of why I can do this. Well, it's not the reason you're doing it. The reason you're being able to do it is because of Lee's father, God rest his soul, my dad, God rest his soul, all the military that fought in these wars to do. At the end of the day, from a Catholic standpoint, the legitimate defense requires damage inflicted by the aggressor to be lasting and grave. And we don't want that. We want peaceful ways of things. I think everyone wants peaceful ways. I don't care what religion you are, Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Protestant. You want peaceful ways of doing it. But at the end of the day, sometimes the prayers are to minimize the loss of life. That's what you'd like to do. But I don't know of any war that's ever been won or lost at a table.
No, there won't be. In the case of Iran, the government there that has assumed the power is kind of like the Venezuelan guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not elected by the people. I mean, they control the elections. They do what they want to do. They do it with might from the Revolutionary Guard, and that word Revolutionary Guard is there for a reason, because they're not there for defensive purposes. They are there to create hate and discontent and to control the people, and they do so by killing the dissidents. And they don't have a problem with killing 10, 20,000, 30,000 people a year of their own people. Now, that's the kind of individuals out there that just do not need to be in power. And there is absolutely nothing else to do with them but to eliminate them. You, the Pope, the President, the Vice President, even Charlie out here, who's on the other line, we'll pick him up in just a second. None of you will be able to talk any sense into these people. None. They will never see it the right way. Never. I don't care how powerful you think your message is. They got deaf ears. They got other plans.
Well, I'll let Charlie come on. I just want to say this. Evil goes back to beyond years that any of us will ever know. We can read the history of evil. Evil starts with the devil, or Satan, and unfortunately Satan still exists today in this world.
Yes.
And the good thing is this: God gives us choices. He gave us brains. He gave us hearts to make our decisions. Do we want to be good or bad?
Right.
Some people choose bad. We hope most people, like you two in the studio, Charlie, all of our listeners, I see them as all good. They're all good. We may not all agree with what we talk about on the show, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I love them all.
It's all
and
for
I
the
hope they
good.
love us.
Don't hang up, because I think that I can bring Charlie in at the same time now. Let's just give it a
Okay.
whirl and see what happens.
Give it a
Charlie,
shot.
are you there, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here. Who's on the other line?
We got Chris, who is he's working on getting back to work here, but he can't come in yet. He's got some other things that he's doing. So Chris is there, and Charlie can. Chris, I assume you can hear Charlie.
I can hear Charlie fine. Hey, Charlie, how's everything, my friend?
Yeah, I miss seeing Chris in the room.
Okay.
I like Chris.
Well, he'll be in the room soon.
Yeah, I
Charlie.
don't know what your story is, Chris. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. I don't know what's going on with you. I hope you're well.
No, I'm doing fine. I'm taking care of my wife.
Good. Do you guys want me to get to my point, or should
Absolutely.
I relax?
Come on, let's get to it.
So here's my point. I just called into another show earlier. I think it's fairly popular, and I've run up the name Amy Harris. Do any of you guys know who Amy Harris is?
Amy Harris.
Is
A lot of
that a-
Amy's
is that a
and
singer?
Harrises.
Amy Harris, the singer.
No, Amy Harris was in Florida, and she stayed at a residence where Ashley Biden stayed, and she got a hold of Ashley Biden's diary, and she tried to sell it to Project Veritas.
Oh yeah, that's
So here's the deal. So Ashley Biden was staying at a residence in Florida, and Amy Harris and this guy named Robert Kurlander were also staying at this residence, and they got a hold of her diary. Here's where it gets really tricky. Ashley Biden is on audio tape pleading to get her diary back. Here's why she wanted their diary back. In that diary, Ashley Biden, she talked about her childhood. She talked about nude showers, forced nude showers with her father, Joe Biden. She talked about being sexualized. She talked about being molested. Now, here's where it gets really tricky. Amy Harris, who took the diary, and Robert Kurlander, who also took the diary, they pled guilty in a Manhattan federal court. Why would they plead guilty? Because what was in that diary was accurate.
Because they stole it. It's stolen
Right,
property.
they stole it. Right, they stole it.
And therefore, and besides that, how do you know what's in that diary is accurate? Have you ever read a diary from anybody else that
Well,
you
no,
know is imagination?
And Charlie,
That's where it's tricky. That's where it's tricky. Because
I'm sorry.
what's that?
Okay,
I was just going to say what they charged them with was transporting stolen property
right.
from one state to another. So
That's why it was in federal court.
Right.
Good, Charlie.
But here's the point. First of all, right, they should not have taken her diary, but you got to think to yourself, well, wait, is there something truthful in that diary? Is there something? But why would they plead guilty? Because it was truthful. You guys have seen, all of us have seen all these bizarre photos and videos of Joe Biden touching children and caressing children and kissing children. Correct? We've all seen that, right?
Well, I've seen him sniffing hair of women.
Well, no, there's lots of videos out there of him like putting his arm. Okay, I'm over 40. I would never, ever times a billion put my hand on a child. Ever. There's so many videos out here of him touching kids. My point is Joe Biden is a child molester. He's a pedophile. His daughter talked about showering nude with her father. Showers nude with his daughter. No man does that. No man does that.
You'll be amazed.
Well, okay, if you're a sick human being.
No,
yes,
you would be amazed at a society of people, they call themselves nudists, and that they do group showers, men, women, and children together. Did you know that?
I've heard of that, but come on.
So yes, so there are people that do it. It's not whether Joe Biden did it or not. I don't know. It's written down somewhere. Is there any fact, anybody to back that up other than the written word of somebody who wrote this at some point in time in her life?
what she wrote about it in her diary. She talked about being
So
molested.
what? Do you think you can even get a diary in a courtroom as evidence, as far as factual?
She's on audio. She's on tape trying to get it back. She's on audio saying, I need to get my diary back.
So?
She's on audio saying, please give it back to me. Please give it back to me.
Well, so?
In her diary, she said, was I molested? In her diary, she talked about being sexualized.
And you really think that would be legal evidence anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, good luck. You haven't been to court yet.
I've seen it in some of the court cases I've watched where they have taken, like Corey Richens, they used her diary against her.
In certain ways, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can rest assured they used it against her. They didn't use it against
It's
somebody else.
crazy anyway.
They don't use it against somebody else. That's hearsay.
Yeah.
Hey, Rayford,
Yes.
it sounds like you're almost defending him.
No, I'm defending the laws, dude. I defend people that have been accused of all sorts of things.
For any father or any man to shower nude with a 14-year-old girl.
Do I think it's right or normal? No.
No, it's not normal. No.
But,
I'm the law. It's not normal.
Okay.
You're going to go to jail. You're a pervert. You're a deviant.
Well,
All right.
have fun.
All right. I'm going to have fun.
Take care, Charlie. Well, hey, Rayford, one thing I love to say is you got the system set up where you can actually do these
Dual calls.
point counterpoint.
I came in here and I stripped some stuff down one day, literally, and I spent most of the day on my back underneath this
This is
desk.
not going well.
And tearing out wires, putting new wires in, readjusting this, readjusting that, because I had it that way to begin with, and then
Right.
somehow it got crossed up. I think with the lightning hit it that time, it screwed
Yes,
stuff up.
yes.
Well, I appreciate being able to call in. By the way, we have half a month left of the Crime Stopper fundraiser.
Uh-huh.
It's going well. We've gone
got your ticket yet?
almost to it. Now I'm working on getting Lee hers. But,
I got mine. I'm gonna go get me some pig.
Well, we're close to going over 1,000 tickets sold.
Yay.
And I've got 1,000 more in my briefcase. So
Well, I got 4 right here. I'll take $100 a piece for them.
I
Then I'll
had-
go buy some.
I had
more
some
of yours.
Tuesday night.
I look forward to getting back in the studio soon, but I appreciate being able to talk to my partners. And
We have a gentleman on the line. You might want to say hey to while you're at it. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
What's up?
Steve.
hey, Chris. Hey, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing fine. How are
Hey,
you?
how you doing? Oh, we're doing pretty good. Staying here in the garden, looking at all the plants.
Oh, I went out and locked mine under the darkness this morning.
Haven't had time to plant
I
them
got
out.
the tomatoes have arrived. They are thriving.
Oh,
Good.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
They've grown quite a bit in the last week.
Nice.
Are they big and red?
Really?
They're not. I got little green tomatoes over there.
Oh,
Okay.
love it.
Anticipating, sure.
It's pretty cool.
All right, what's on your mind there, Steve? Not tomatoes.
Well, I was gonna say you wouldn't have to be a psychic to figure out what I might make comments on.
I don't
this
know.
morning.
There's so much this morning. Just go for it.
I got it. I was hearing y'all debate over the image that our president had posted.
Yes. Okay, that's one.
And my take on it is it's another good example of bad character. The questions I think everybody should ask is, are they surprised he did it?
I am actually. I think this was a little bit beyond him, to be honest with you.
Well, I would put it in the same box as when he posted a picture of an AI picture of himself as the Pope when they were trying to decide who the
Same
Pope
thing.
was.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, once again, very, very poor taste. And to act like he didn't know what that picture was is an insult to everybody's intelligence.
That was pretty on the dumb side, to be honest with you.
But once again, does it surprise anybody that he told such a dumb lie to try and make an excuse for it? No, it is right within his character.
Actually,
that's Trump.
that did surprise me a little bit. I figured he would have backed out and said, but when I thought about it the second time, no, he's not going to apologize. He has never apologized for anything that I know of.
Well, and I mean, to me, that's character flaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people that can't do it.
You got to.
Well, you got to realize your own mistakes. So how do you learn?
Not everybody can do that.
True. Well, that's kind of where I'm at on it is that, I mean, just like on his Christmas message, I mean, not his Christmas message, but his Easter message, talking about, killing a bunch of people and then ending it with praise be Allah.
Oh God.
I know it was a bit of sarcasm, but I mean, think for a second if Obama would have had an Easter message that ended with praise be Allah, we'd all come unglued. I'd have come unglued.
Steve.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
I think part of his problem, one of many, but is his timing. That's bad timing especially on that one of the most holy days. To say something like that, he'd been better off saying 4 on a golf course.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, and I believe I heard or read that he was blaming mainstream media on turning this into him being pictured as Christ-like. Like, I've seen the picture. There's no doctor I know in the world, one that wears an outfit like that, or two, would have any kind of. It's just a poor taste. Very just unpresidential-like. Honestly.
I was going to say, for us to even waste our time trying to contemplate that he actually believed that thought he was a doctor in that photo it's just a waste of our time. It's an obvious cover-up lie. He knew what he was posting. I mean, who in America over the age of, say 35 wouldn't have looked at that and said that that's a depiction of, him depicting himself as Jesus?
I'd be scared I'd get hit by lightning if I posted something like that.
You would deserve
Incoming.
But what it shows me is there's no line that he won't cross.
Right.
He has no guardrails when it comes to stuff like that.
He is
even
untrained.
atheists would have known what that meant. What that was implying.
Yeah, I can agree. I've known some atheists, and they would have all known it.
Right. So, like I say, it's just an insult to everybody. I've always found and lie a lot tend to think everybody is stupid because their lives are just that weak. But.
So what's your thoughts on Eric Smutwell?
Swalwell.
I tell you what I'm the part I'm most disappointed in is that these people have not come forward sooner.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's been,
I'm glad you're talking about that because that was my exact reaction.
Right.
Where have you been for the past 6 years?
Right.
Yeah.
8 years.
I mean, but that don't mean it ain't true.
That's not what I said, but where have you been? Because look what you could have stopped.
That or did nobody listen until he wanted to run for governor? That's my other side of that coin to me. Were they trying to tell this story and nobody wanted to hear it? I don't know. I can't say because that's a big unknown. What was their motivation at this point?
Yes, Chris.
I just have to say, Ray, for a good point. Had these women, any of them, and any of these sex allegations, if they had come out sooner, it would have stopped others from having to be abused.
Right, and I can't put myself in the place of a person like that. I know why they do or don't do it, but I will say that his reaction to it makes me feel like it's more credible. I know he's saying that it's not true, but he seemed to want to get out of the spotlight. So.
It ain't going to go away, bud. It's not going to go away. It's too late now.
No, and I think they should pursue it. And if it turns out that he didn't do it, that's that's a possibility. But I just I don't feel like that's the way to go. I always try to remember innocent until proven guilty, but this one looks very dirty. You know what I mean? You can't you got to believe your eyes and ears at some point.
Yeah. His reaction gives it away. He's guilty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I will say in our current political climate that I wish everybody was held accountable. But it seems like that there's a lot of people up there that have been getting away with stuff.
Good luck.
For a while,
Forever.
without people finding out about it.
Yep.
So, maybe we need to figure out, if there's anything we can do about that.
Yeah, vote for somebody else.
How we can't thoroughly, in this day and age, how we can't, thoroughly vet somebody is just, astonishing.
People will.
People still can keep stuff hid like that.
Yeah, they do. All right.
Steve, good talking to you. I know they've got marine forecast is coming up here shortly.
Yeah,
so,
we're going to go do a little bit of weather.
Yes, we do.
I will talk to everybody soon again. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
For letting me become.
Thanks for the
Thank you,
insight.
guys.
And
Thank you.
Steve, thank you, as always, sir.
You're welcome, guys. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Be safe.
Yeah, blessed day. Bye.
Bye. Our marine forecast.
Let's do it.
Our marine forecast. It's looking like summer out there.
Let's
It
get that
really
boat in
is.
the water.
Without quite the humidity or without quite the temperatures yet.
Right.
But it's going to get there, I'm sure, no doubt. But it's okay
Beautiful.
today. And we've had some brisk winds, but we're having some okay winds right now.
Right.
Before I talk too fast, something will change. Out to 20 nautical miles today, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing 15 to 20 later in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 4 feet every 5 seconds. They're kind of close together, but they're not real big. It's just going to make you get to get bump, 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 bump. Sounds in rivers, a moderate chop, becoming choppy in the afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 4. Again on Friday, southwesterly winds, they're going to kick up just a bit, 15 to 20. 3 to 4 footers. Sounds and rivers will have a little bit of a chop on them tomorrow.
Today, sunny with a high near 89. Southwest winds 7 to 9 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 61. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 89. Friday, sunny with a high near 90. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 91. And I will admit, and I'm going to admit to this, I turned on the AC last night. It was 84 in the house.
Oh, my.
And it was very
You had
stuffy.
some hot dogs in there, didn't you?
Well, with that metal roof I have,
Oh.
it and the sun coming in the back of the house, which I
Oh.
closed the blinds
yeah.
around 4 p.m. for the backside, but it
Okay.
heats that brick up, and
It does.
it got kind of warm in there. It was just so stuffy, but I did cut it on for a little bit.
Okay. This time of year, there's a very large population of folks along the coast of North Carolina, especially
Yes.
North Carolina. It's other coast too, but primarily North Carolina, who they get a fever.
Let's go to the beach.
Spanish fever.
Oh, the Spanish mackerel.
There is the Spanish invasion getting ready to
Oh.
occur.
Oh,
It happens every year.
that was fall.
Sometimes it's a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later. It all depends on one thing,
Right.
the water temperature.
True.
The water temperatures right now along the coast, right along the beaches, it varies. It depends upon how far north or south you are up along our coast. Somewhere around 64 degrees, anywhere from 61 to 64
Mhm.
degrees right now. A little bit further offshore, it's a little bit warmer. But right now on the beaches, where a lot of people like to go catch Spanish mackerel, they like to spend their days in small boats close to the beach. Doesn't require a lot of gas money to get out to where the big ones are, right?
Right.
And they're relatively easy to catch if you have some experience and a little knowledge. You're not going to get them every day because fish I think the females are really weird. They just, they have their own attitudes going on. Some days they work, some days they don't work. But when the temperature reaches a steady 68 degrees or higher in the surf, that's when the Spanish invasion will be. It will be schools of Spanish mackerel out there. Near shore, you won't have any trouble finding them if you go fishing early in the morning. The sun gets up a little higher, the fish go a little bit deeper. You don't see them. They're not as easy to spot. During the early morning hours, they're easy to spot. There will be jumping. There will be all sorts of things that will be feeding on the little bait fish on the surface. So the rule is go early. Now, if you're new to this area, check out the internet. If you want to try your hand at Spanish mackerel fishing, check out the internet. Go look under Spanish mackerel Clark spoon rigs, Clark spoon rigs. That's the go-to.
Right.
It's a North Carolina product, by the way. Pick up some of the spoons wherever you shop for fishing supplies. Don't know what your favorite tackle shop is. It can be the big box stores. It can be the local tackle shops. To me, the local tackle shops are the preferred. They know what the people around here need.
Right.
The guys that buy for the big box stores, they don't have any clue. They buy it from, they may be in Missouri and they have no clue what a Spanish mackerel is. Pick up some of the spoons wherever you shop. Here's the thing here. You'll need some either fluorocarbon. It's a little more expensive. I like the fluorocarbon. It can't be seen in the water. It's invisible to fish. Fish can't see it. They don't see it. Spanish mackerel are got great eyesight, and they don't like things that don't look normal in the water, like fishing line. They'll shy away from it. So you can either use fluorocarbon, you can use some monofilament fishing line. Don't make it too big. The smaller, the better. 15-pound leader is good. No problem with that. And then use the smallest swivels that you can get. They got some really tiny ones out there. Use those. You don't want the fish biting at them. They see it, they're going to bite at it, and then you're going to lose whatever your lure is. Put a 2-ounce, go on 2 lines, set up 2 rigs first. Put a 2-ounce trolling lead as it ties off of your fishing line to the leader. It's a trolling lead. It'll keep your lure a little bit deeper in the water, just under the surface while you're trolling. That way more fish will see it. If it's bouncing across the top of the water and there's a little chop on the water, they won't even see that happening very much. So that'll keep it down just a little bit. And put one line out about 25 yards back, and the other lure about 40 yards back. You don't want them side by side. They'll get tangled. Trust me. Do it if you want to get smart. Get yourself a number 1 planer. You could Google it, put it on your list if you don't know how to hook it up, and then set it about 15 yards behind the boat and troll it with your lure on that instead of just trailing right off the back. And that'll put it down about 10 to 15 feet below the surface. Some of the fish run deeper. Mm-hmm. So you've got a water column from down to 15 feet or so all the way to near the surface. That works everywhere. Your trolling speed start out with 5.5 miles an hour. If you're picking up a lot of bluefish and you don't want to catch bluefish, then pick up the speed just a little bit, 6.5 miles an hour. If you catch fish, get them in the boat quickly. If they're small fish, throw them back over while they're alive. Don't kill them. Don't let them die. It's no good. They're going to count against your catch, your limit if you keep them, and they're small, and you'd rather keep the bigger ones. I've done more than my share of Spanish fishing over the years, over the decades. I love it's fun. Action can be fast and furious. That's wonderful. And when you get home, you got some pretty good tasting fish as long as you clean them rapidly, don't let them spoil. And you got some good tasting fish. They make great fish sandwiches if you want that. On a hamburger bun?
No.
Fried fish. You don't like fried fish?
Unless it says Oscar Mayer on the package, I'm good.
Oscar Mayer. Fish?
No. Unless, never mind. I'm not a big fan of eating fish. I love flounder.
Okay, well then.
And I love shellfish.
Then you don't count.
Well,
the rest of the people out there like Spanish.
I was ruined when I was young with
Apparently.
My parents cooking fish and looking at all the bones in it. It just freaked me out.
These are fillets. You fillet them and you put them on the fish burger.
I love to catch them, but I don't like to clean them or eat them.
There's lots of actions, and the fish do taste really good. You can put them on the grill when you get home. You can put them on. You can fry them. You can. There are all sorts of ways to cook them. Mm-hmm. If you want to venture out a little bit further, right now the water temperature out there about 15 miles offshore is 70 degrees. You can pick some of the stuff out there. You'll probably find some bigger Spanish mackerel out there as well. But if you got any situations where you've been out or something you want to know, feel free to call us. Right. If there's anybody around here that's done a lot of Spanish fishing, it's me.
Yes.
Because what I really like. It's just a lot of fun to do.
Well, honestly, I'm waiting for June 8th. That is the first day of catch for the Big Rock this year.
Oh, good.
Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament in Morehead City.
Yeah.
That's the first day, 1
You
to 6.
just like the social part of it.
No, I'm going to tell you,
But you can't eat the marlin.
well, I don't care to, but it's the excitement of the chase and the catch and watching what the boats bring in. And, I listen
The social part.
to the captain during the day.
Yeah.
And then I'm glued to YouTube and Facebook.
Mhm.
They usually open up the scales around 4 and they start trickling in. And it is so much fun to watch those big boats just swing up and back up. And you think they're going to take out the dock and they stop like a half a foot before the dock. And then watching what they bring off the boats. It's just really exciting. I like watching
That's
it.
just one of the things around here that's very exciting. And,
Yes.
it generates a lot of revenue for the area.
Yes, it does.
Lots of good things, including the Marlins baseball field were built.
Yes.
Were built
Yep.
from the Blue Rock Marlin tournament monies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they got a beautiful field over
And
there
they
too.
a lot of that money goes to the hospital
Yes,
there
it
in
does.
Carteret County
That's made that hospital.
to
That
the
hospital
cancer.
is a number
Right.
one center to go to
Right.
this
Yeah.
part of the state.
It's a wonderful fundraiser that they have a year. It's exciting. A lot of people.
Come from far and
Yeah,
wide.
come
And
from
it's,
far and
it's
wide.
a lot of money pours into the economy. All these boaters, not many of them stay on their boats. They're
I used
big
to
enough.
love, my sister and I used to love going down there in the afternoons to watch the boats come in.
Yeah.
But it's picked up such a crowd now, and there's
You
the
can't get
parking
there.
is hard. And they do the best they can.
Yeah.
It's hard to park. It's a huge crowd. It's hard to get right up there where you can see, even though they have big screens. We just found it was easier to sit at home and watch it.
Of course, the older you get, the things that you do that.
That's exactly what happens. The older you get, like,
So now what?
So now what?
Now
I
what?
have-
A U.S. Navy destroyer.
Oh, well, I see. Usually let me finish this
Oh, what?
weather.
Oh, did you not do your weather?
No, I did the weather, but there was something
Oh,
weather
you had
related.
another something else you were going to do.
Yeah, I want
You
to talk
didn't get to it
about.
before, did you?
No,
So
I'm going
my
to
fault.
sneak it in real quick. No, it's
That was
okay.
one of our callers that got in your way.
Yeah, Charlie. 2026 Atlantic hurricane season forecast came out.
Oh,
Colorado State University's first major forecast for the 2026 predicts a slightly below average Atlantic
oh my God!
hurricane season with 13 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 of those being major hurricanes. Now, the way I look
How
at
many of
this,
them are going to hit the coast?
the way I look at this is it only takes one.
That's all it takes.
It only takes one, but they are predicting a below average at this moment.
Now, the Colorado guys also update that forecast 3 times
Yes, they
between
do.
now and hurricane
That's why I
season.
said at this moment. But
Yeah.
looking good. It's looking good for us. So let's just hope that, like I said, it only takes that one to come in and say,
Last year we had 4
Amen.
on the map at one time, didn't we?
last year we kept busy
we had
with
some
out there in the Atlantic.
Sometimes there were at least 4 at a time.
We had a lot of them fizzle out,
Yeah, well,
before
that's
they got
good.
to us. But hey, we were like, thank you. Thank you.
A U.S. Navy destroyer, part of the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, a blockade intended to keep ships from entering or exiting any Iranian ports,
Mhm.
has put a stop to a couple of those ships since the blockade began Monday. 2 oil tankers were intercepted as they pulled away from one of Iran's ports this week. Both were ordered to return to port because they were not going to leave Iranian waters. We told them that. By the end of the second day, a total of 6 tankers had been sent back to Iran to await further instructions. Iran had earlier promised to take action against our military ships if they enforce that blockade. Well, guess what? We're enforcing it. What you going to do about it? You better not do anything, otherwise you're going to suffer.
Yes.
A Pakistan official has illusions
Pakistan.
of doing what Miss America contestants have failed to accomplish. He wants peace in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
Pakistan on Tuesday reiterated
Yes.
its commitment to helping the United States and Iran reach a lasting peace agreement.
Right.
Pakistan's finance minister, Mohammed Yabad, told the Associated Press that his country's leadership is not giving up on efforts to facilitate negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. He emphasized that the two sides have not held direct discussions in nearly 50 years. So I guess he wants a feather in his turban and will try to set up some sort of a meeting. Who knows? Maybe that's what will work. U.S. and Iranian officials actually held talks for roughly 21 hours on Saturday in Pakistan. I don't know where this dude was. Nothing came out of that meeting either. Have you noticed lower gas prices?
You know, and I burnt almost a tank this week, and I've got to go buy more. And as I was leaving Oslo last night, I saw some prices up to $4.
Well, it's claimed that Venezuelan oil imports arriving in the United States have resulted in lower oil prices and thus lower pump prices. Chevron is running its Mississippi refinery at full capacity to process enough crude and boost the output. A tanker carrying 400,000 barrels of Venezuelan crude will supply that refinery for a grand total of 4 days. They're going to run through 100,000 barrels a day. Really? The oil imports are helping both bring revenue to Venezuela and it's helping Americans, according to Chevron's head of global refining. I thought we had earlier seized 2 or 3 tankers coming out of Venezuela that were loaded with oil. We took them under tow and we kept them. And they're sitting somewhere at U.S. docks somewhere. If that's true, why haven't we started refining that oil? It's ours. We took it. We seized it. Spoils of war. And since we seized it, do we need to even pay for it? I would think that it is a spoil of the battle that saw Venezuelans freed from the wrath of their dictator. Well, now we're going to be getting oil from Venezuela without having to wait for it to come through the Gulf of the Straits of Hormuz. It's not enough. Don't get me wrong. It's not enough. 2 more drug cartel operatives have hauled their last load of dope in the Eastern Pacific on Monday. Our military hit another drug trafficking boat, blowing it, the dope, and the 2 smugglers to smithereens. The strike comes 2 days after similar operations were conducted against 2 other suspected vessels operated by targeted groups, the drug cartels. Intelligence confirmed those vessels were traveling along known drug trafficking routes in the Eastern Pacific and were actively engaged in narcotics operations. 2 men were killed in the first strike, 3 in the second, while 1 individual survived the initial attack. The Coast Guard was called to conduct search and rescue missions for the lone survivor. Don't know whether they ever found him or not. No U.S. forces were injured in either operation. If you're going to play in this world of drug warfare, you're going to need to be prepared to pay the ultimate price. The cost of doing business has dramatically increased in the past year, with the punishment, much like wedding vows, till death do us part. Speaking of which, recovery efforts are underway for the missing U.S. citizen who disappeared while on a dinghy ride, the dinghy being a small boat.
Her husband pushed her.
Typically used as a tender boat and towed behind larger vessels in the Bahamas. Brian and Lynette Hooker were on the dinghy in choppy waters on their way back to their anchored sailboat near Elbow Cay earlier this month.
He pushed.
He told authorities that she fell out of the boat and that the keys to the motor were attached to her. It's standard safety practices that the key for a boat is attached by a short lanyard to the boat's operator. To the boat's operator, Brian told police it took a long time in the choppy waters with the wind blowing for him to paddle to the sailboat so he could call for help. Lynette's family members said the couple was having marital problems, which confuses me if true. If I was either party and having issues, I would not be on a sailboat in the Bahamas without a whole crew of witnesses.
Yeah, they had off and on domestic issues. And
the ocean is big.
He had choked her once before during an argument, and he pushed her off the boat.
Brian was questioned for a number of days by Bahamians, but we have no idea what questions he did or did not respond to. He was released Monday and is now at home in the United States, waiting, no doubt, for the next shoe to drop. I'm sure it's going to. Okay, now, I put my other hat on, my former hat. what would I want to know from Brian if I had him in the room, in the booth, or at the table, whatever? What
Did you do it?
No, that's chump change. You make that
Did you
assumption.
do it?
You take
I've
that.
assumed it. I've made that
You
assumption.
take that as an assumption to begin with. When you take somebody
I
into
know,
the
I was
booth,
kidding.
you
I was
assume that
kidding,
they are
Rupert.
the bad people.
Right.
That's why you take them in there.
Right.
My question first: who was actually operating the dinghy, Brian? These would be rapid fire questions. You
I'm
understand
sure
that,
they
right?
asked.
So who was operating the dinghy?
Mm-hmm.
Were y'all perhaps drinking before you getting aboard the dinghy? Were you fighting before you got aboard the dinghy? If you were on your sailboat, why hop aboard a very small boat in choppy waters? Did Lynette sink right away? Or, as you earlier mentioned, she was swimming away from the dinghy? Which is it? Which happened? Was she disoriented, perhaps, when she was underwater? Why? Was she couldn't get her breath? Was she maybe sucking up water? Was she heading for the sailboat? Or was she swimming away from the sailboat? Who actually saw her on your boat last? What day and time was that? When and where were you last seen in public together? Was it on the same island where your boat was anchored? Who and when did she last have telephone contact with? Where's her telephone? Exactly when did you contact your lawyer, before or after calling the authorities? And then I would not give him a lot of time to answer any question, just about that rapid fire that I gave you. And then I would say, I'd make a note of every response that he tried to come up with. And then I would say, once I got through with that, I'd turn around. I'd run back through the same questions again, but not in the same order. Never in the same order. Mix them up. And run through them a third time the same way.
Well,
There will be inconsistencies.
They kept him for 48 hours.
And he just shut up.
And they continuously interviewed him. Of course, he attained and retained a lawyer.
Yep.
From what I've seen and heard watching, he kept it simple, stuck to his story. And I'm telling you, he pushed her over.
Rehearsed. I wouldn't give him a lot of time to answer the questions, and then I'd go through them again. People who lie with prepared stories are actors. They're just like actors for television and movies, right?
Right.
They memorize their lines in a specific order. Tell them to mix up the way they give those lines. You'll have a wonderful disaster on your hands. And when you do it several times, and whatever he has to hide will cause him to blow a fuse.
There's quite a few text message conversations between him and different people where he's talked about what happened, and they felt concerned enough that they turned over their text message conversations to the police. And I do find that a lot of his interviews he's had to say was very mixed without showing a lot of emotion. Yes, it was horrible. And then he would go talk about something else. He would, let me finish. What he was doing was he would say, yes, I can't believe it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for her and I'm going to find her. Oh, by the way, I had news media contact me last night. They want to do an interview. Gee, I've never done a news media interview before. And then he would go back to talk about her again. It was all so bizarre. And it could be that he's just a very bizarre person. Maybe she just fell off the boat, the dinghy, who knows, but a lot of people are speculating because of their past history with domestic violence within the relationship. She had left him once before.
50s, low 60s, right?
Yes.
58, something like that.
Yes.
He's a sailor. They're both sailors.
Right.
They own boats a lot. They
both strong swimmers, they said.
If my wife falls off a dinghy while we're out there, and I've been on these dinghies,
right.
We've been on
that dinghy was about the size of this table.
Well, it's 8 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on dinghies, and we've had 4 people on those dinghies,
right.
and they ride low in the water, they do whatever, and sometimes you sit on the gunnels because that's the only place to sit.
Right.
Sometimes you'll find a seat in the middle of a boat, especially
mm-hmm.
the rubber boats will have abilities. But I can just see if Robbie were to fall off the side, the motor's going to stop because you've got the lanyard either you have or she has. Whoever's got the lanyard
Right.
attached to them, as he claims, the motor's going to stop when it comes out of the ignition. When the key shuts, it's got what they call a kill switch there.
Right.
Pop, ding, motor quits running. You can't start it either unless you know something about how to jump it. But if that happens, I'm going to be underwater.
Exactly.
I'm going to be underwater right now
Mm-hmm.
because even at a much more advanced age than he is, I would be in that water in a heartbeat.
Right. I would too. I mean,
Just to
he
make sure she's
threw
okay.
her.
Because, I don't care what his BS story to the media and to the interviews,
Thank
because
you.
he's going to be lying through his teeth on
Right.
everything he does. And he's not going to be, who cares what he says? But you can try to use that later, but I'd rather go in there and him not have any idea what I'm going to ask him, because he's prepared to answer the questions that everybody else has already asked.
Well, the authorities have not filed any charges,
Well, they
and they
can't.
released him because, after 48 hours they have to, but they said the investigation is still ongoing
Yeah.
and that there was a lot of inconsistencies in
Yeah.
his account and allegations about their relationship. But do you know they raided his boat yesterday? His-
They did a search of it.
Yeah, they went out there and did an extent. Yeah, they're probably looking for that key.
They're not going to find it.
No.
They might find
And he
another
dumped
one.
us some. For all we know, they could have gone back to the sailboat, had an argument. He threw her overboard, jumped in the dinghy, said, "I'll play like she fell off." I mean, there's so many
Let me
things.
do a little timeout. What would I do if I was in the mood to dispose of a person like that? I would not come up with that story there. She would have not been on that boat
Mm-hmm.
for several days. That body would have been way offshore somewhere else at another location. You
Yeah.
understand? It would not have happened suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
If you were planning to do it, you plan to do it. And then you come near the beach, or you come up and you got plenty of time to come up with this story. That's why I say, did anybody else see the two of you together? When was the last time anybody saw the two of you together, and especially aboard that boat?
I think they were checking. Last I heard, they had talked to a witness that was at the club where they had dinner, and I don't know what all
The
came
same
out
night?
of that because the same night. Because a lot of that stuff, they're not releasing that information. Like, were they drinking? Did they appear to be intoxicated? And it could be that maybe she was, had too much to drink. When she fell off, all that alcohol in her just
Well,
went. Yeah, we don't know.
No.
And we probably will never know the full story.
When they find a body, they'll
He
find
did it. Yeah, they're going to find the choke marks on her if she's still,
Well, if the Bahamian waters do have a lot of sharks in them, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
I
I
don't
imagine
get
so.
the part about anchoring 2 miles away. That I
don't either.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't read that much about it. And where were they going in the dinghy?
They were going to a restaurant. That's right. They're on the water.
I thought they'd already been to the restaurant.
No, they anchored like 2 miles.
Well, didn't you say they were seen at the restaurant?
I'm saying that they talked to a witness who said that they saw them, but they didn't go into detail as far as what did the witness say? Did the witness say they were drinking? Were they arguing? No,
Well,
they
I
haven't
know,
released any of
if
that.
they were going to the restaurant,
No, what I'm saying is they anchored their sailboat
Yeah.
about 2 miles
and
Out.
they went to the restaurant.
and they got in the dinghy and they went to the restaurant. It was coming back from the restaurant that they got in the boat and in the dinghy, and I guess the water got rough supposedly, and a wave come up. She popped up out of the dinghy, and his so many inconsistencies with what little bit we know, where he said that she was appeared to try to swim towards the shore, so he thought she'd be okay. And then another story recounted was that she was swimming towards the boat, and I'm like, the boat's 2 miles out.
How far away were they from the boat?
They did not say.
So I don't know.
A lot of that information is not, but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of different stories.
Yeah,
but
you know, that's why I say unless
they're showing,
I was asking the questions, I wouldn't believe
they're
anything
showing
I
like
heard.
during press conference and stuff. They have a detailed map where the boat was anchored, where the boat was anchored, the course that the dinghy took, the restaurant. So I don't understand why they couldn't have anchored closer.
Well, they're a reefs, but I don't know where they were.
Right.
Elbow
Yes.
Cay, and they were in the Abacos, I think.
Yes.
Right?
And it seems
I'll look it
kind of
up. There may
strange.
be an anchorage there. I don't know. There may be a place there that you hook up. There's a lot of places in the islands do that. They have a place you actually tie up. You don't anchor. You tie up.
You know, I watch a lot of court cases, and I always try to look at it with a blank mind to start with and put myself in the seat of a juror.
You said he was guilty before ever.
This one, he's guilty. Let him go to court.
Forget about that blank mind
guilty.
part. Forget about that blank mind part. You were already confirmed.
Guilty. I've already made up my mind he's
Do
guilty.
you think you could be seated on a jury?
You know what?
Without
It's
lying?
just Rayford. He doesn't appear to have any remorse whatsoever. He doesn't even appear to be heartbroken, upset, anything. It was like, hey, yeah, she fell off the dinghy, swam the other way, and that's the last I saw of her. I'm like, Oh, I like what somebody just said here. Steven said he has the right to not answer any
He
questions,
does.
but apparently not the ability.
You
That's a
know,
good one, Steve. Good one.
I like my question that I would ask him. Did you call your lawyer before you called the police?
Well, yeah. Well, you know,
Your phone
now.
will tell the truth.
that-
You understand that?
right. What in the world have you got going on in the house?
Got a herd of dogs out there, it sounds like.
It's in the house. They're all excited about something.
Well, good. Maybe the mailman's here. He brings cookies and we got
Just
a mail
not
lady.
supposed to
We
do
got a
it.
mail lady that brings crackers
Not
too now.
supposed to do.
Yeah, I know, but
There's a rule against that.
Yeah,
But I think it's
she
very
asked,
nice.
she asked me permission.
Yeah.
She asked me permission.
Well, what's going to
if she
happen
could.
is the next mailman that comes up that doesn't have,
He's going to get bitten.
he's going to get bitten for
No,
not having them.
They don't see the.
I know. Your dogs are different,
wouldn't
but you
bite-
know, you
They
go
don't bite
to
steak, okay?
you go up and ring a doorbell, and all they've got is the screen door latch. The front door's open. You see a dog coming, put your foot up against that door, the outside of that door. I'm just telling you. Kind of help
Just put the
hold.
mail in the mailbox. Go away.
Well, what if you had a package for
Put
somebody?
it on the floor.
Or they had to sign for something?
Well, they can get a picture of it. Don't worry about it. Okay. We'll see
It's
you
not how
tomorrow
it
morning,
works.
and we've got. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about gardening tomorrow morning.
We're going to
And
talk about
plants.
April 25th.
And some plants and
Yeah.
stuff like that coming up here shortly. In a little over a week, we got
Right.
a big old plant sale here
That's
in
right.
Onslow County,
Starts at 9:00.
and we got some free advice we're going to get tomorrow.
8:00. When I'm not saying it out, 8:00. Yes,
8:25.
there you go.
You need to be there at 8:25.
Plenty of parking at 9. Carol's gonna beat
She's
us up.
she's gonna hurt you. I didn't say. I told her. I told you the truth, and you wouldn't listen. We'll see you
I
guys
heard the
tomorrow morning at 9
conversation.
o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7
Yes.
o'clock, or sometime or another.
7:00 tomorrow morning. We'll see you again, and we'll have Carol Town in Master Gardener Extraordinaire.
And then we
Will
got
be in 8 a.m. And we've also had our very favorite
Papa Top.
Papa Top, Chris Miller, Jacksonville's
Papa Top. Again.
Jacksonville Daily News sports editor. That man was busy last night.
Yeah.
I was
Well, good.
I
He's
was
earning his
going
keep.
to X, and I follow Chris,
Oh,
and it was
God.
just like one post after another, after another, after I was like, man, you are busy.
All right. I had to beat my computer this morning, so beat it into submission.
I heard you.
God, just irritating. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. So
Yes, we
have a
will.
great rest of your day. Be safe out there. You're live and local Real Talk, where we are awake, but not for long. But we will not be woke ever. Bye. Be safe.